Okay, cooperating broker compensation agreement. This is the form that you hardly ever needed in the past. The only time you needed this form was if the property wasn't in the MLS. You didn't know how much you were getting if it wasn't in the MLS. Or you weren't in the MLS in which the property was in. Or, under rare situations, you and the other agent renegotiated the amount of compensation either before you bought an offer or after you have an executed offer. Where after home inspection, they're arguing and they want $1,000 and the seller will give it to the buyer, doesn't have it. The two agents say, we'll give 500 each. Let's change. And so you go back and change. That's the old reasons why you needed the CBC, which meant hardly ever. Okay. Now, we have another form, by the way, called the compensation addendum to the agreement of sale. It's been done away with because it's now in the agreement of sale as paragraph 3B. You'll see when I get there. Okay. So what this says is cooperating. By the way, this is so beautiful. We only read, but realtors don't read. You know what I mean?
RDO.
RDR. Realtors don't read. Okay, right at the top. Cooperating broker compensation agreement, not to be used as an addendum to the agreement of sale. You don't include it as an addendum to the agreement of sale. It's signed when? Prior to an agreement of sale, right? And now watch this. In red, it says, or when the same broker represents buyer or seller. Because there is no cooperating compensation when the same broker represents buyer and the seller, right? How many times am I going to say it? There is no cooperative compensation for in-house transactions. I have 3 heads on, 2 heads, 8 heads. You don't get it, but believe me, there's no cooperative compensation. And there's 3 ways for buyer's agents to get paid. How? From the buyer, direct from the seller, or from the listing broker as cooperative compensation. And here it is. Cooperating compensation is paid from a listing broker to a cooperating broker working with a buyer. Cooperating compensation should be negotiated prior to a buyer submitting terms or written offers to purchase the property, or could be renegotiated after an offer is executed, but cannot be negotiated as a term of the offer. That's why you can't submit this form with the offer. Oops. Okay, you call the broker up, you say, how much are you offering? They say 2.5%. You say, I want 3. They say, okay, I'll let you have 3. They never do, but if they say, I'll let you have 3, you say, sign it, and then I'll bring you an offer. That's what it means. It has to do with the Code of Ethics Standard of Practice 16-16 and Article 16. I'm not going there right now, but that's a complicated stuff. But just remember, this is broker to broker. Now, you're going to fill in the address of the property and the listing broker. That's easy. The address of the property is your listing, 123 Cherry Street. The listing broker, Keller Williams Real Estate, Northampton County, last I checked. The Keller Williams Real Estate, Allentown. You fill it in. Cooperating broker, you don't know who it is yet if you use the form in advance, like I'm suggesting. But if you do know who it is, you fill in the name of the buyer's broker. Section 21, whatever, time or whatever they're called. I don't know. Time, okay? All right. Cooperating compensation. Listing broker agrees to pay cooperating broker at settlement X dollars, X% of the purchase price of the property as cooperating broker in procuring costs. It points out that that broker has to be the procuring cost. Because we don't have an MLS, which now has procuring cost rules, we have to now create procuring costs in this form. So if you think you're a buyer's agent and you're going to get a listing agent to sign this form to get around procuring costs, if the buyer saw the property with another agent, you may not get away with it because you have to be the procuring cost. And the bottom of the form says, any dispute between brokers as to the procuring costs of a successful purchase transaction will be submitted to arbitration through the arbitration process administered by the local association of realtors called Lehigh Valley Realtors. So that's all it's saying. Don't get bogged down. It's a good old-fashioned cooperating broker compensation agreement. So my concept, and I can't stress this enough with Jim, I love you to do it. If you're getting a 6% or 5% listing and you're offering cooperative compensation, why not have this form prepared in advance, load it on your phone, load it with a QR code at the end of a sign rider, sitting on the dining room table on the kitchen counter, please take one. The buyer walks in, he takes one, the buyer's agent takes one, and says, oh, good, all I have to do is fill in the name of my brokerage company, and when we submit your offer, we're covered. It says here they're giving us 2.5%. I have a buyer agency contract with your buyer that says you have to pay me 3%, you can owe me an extra half, or I got one that says 2.5%, you're not gonna owe me anything. Buyer says, hooray, let's write the offer up. We can take compensation off the table the way we always had it off the table. Now, because of the settlement agreement, it's back on the table. But I am being creative and trying to figure out ways that we can do the same old. Not for long. I'm gonna lose, probably gonna take about 5 years. There'll be no cooperative compensation anywhere in this country. California took it off their listing contract. Rhode Island took it off their listing contract. Delaware took it off their listing contract. Pennsylvania said, we are allowing brokers in Pennsylvania to practice real estate any way they want as long as it's legal. And that's why our listing contract, all our forms are going to accommodate all their practice. Okay, so here is your cooperating broker compensation agreement. If you're showing another company's listing and you're writing an offer from a buyer, unless you have this form, you're going to have to take action on behalf of the buyer in the agreement of sale. Agreement of sale is the next form. Okay? Yes.
Is it top that is for when you represent both buyer and seller?
No.
Just,
So not to be used when you represent.
oh, not to be, got it.
Okay.
That's-
Yeah, not to important.
See it, Cameron?
Okay.
Not to be-
Well, you're a speed reader. Okay.
Not to be. Not to be used as an addendum to the agreement of sale.
Right. Never was.
So if I don't add this as an addendum to my special clauses in the agreement of sale, but I submit it with my agreement of sale, it's not an addendum. They sign it, I'm okay.
Now, you're violating Article 16-16 because you submitted with the agreement of sale. By the way, old question. It's not new. We've had this form for years. Didn't have the red stuff about arbitration. And you were never allowed to submit it with an agreement of sale or put it on the agreement of sale. It has said those words, not to be used as an addendum to the agreement of sale for years. By submitting it with we're having fun. By submitting it with the agreement of sale, it's the same thing as making a contingent and it's a violation of standard practice 16-16. I can't go into it now.
That's
Yes.
fine.
So, my old brokerage actually used to require that we have that.
They were stupid. That's why you did.
Can we put this in our, additional documents through
No.
Showtime?
No. They won't let you. That's part of the settlement agreement. Won't let you.
Not through Showtime either?
So showing time is linked to the MLS, no links to the MLS. Put it on your own website. Let's talk about where you can put this form. You can put it on the front page of the Philadelphia Inquirer. I'm serious. You can hire someone to stand outside your house with the form. Take one. You can put it on a flyer in the window. Here. You can put it on your personal website. You can put it in a text. You can put it. Let me count the ways. There's hundreds of ways you can do it. I'm just highlighting the big ones.
But not.
No, not if you have the IDX speed. So the company is in the process of creating a website, especially for the CBC agreement to be housed. It's being
Our
rolled out.
company is
It,
stupid.
KPG is doing it.
Yeah, but they're only doing it for each individual office.
Exactly. So for our individual office, there will be a database of your listings with this attached.
This is exciting. So your competition is gonna learn
And then you will
that
send.
whenever they show one of your listings, they've been around this 2 years from now. And they're gonna know if they go to this unique website, which they used to go into, they'll see all of Keller Williams real estate, Northampton or Allentown. They'll see all their listings and they'll see how much cooperative compensation is being offered. And they almost can take it to the bank, but they really want to get this form signed anyway. And maybe you're gonna figure out a way to have this form loaded for each one.
It will be. It's gonna be on the website. This will be loaded on the website.
Yes.
Yes.
So showing us, no, but when somebody, sometimes we get messages
Okay?
Direct.
Yeah, showing time is like an arm of the MLS. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can't use the MLS. Right. All right, let's go to the agreement of sale, and then we got a couple of other important things to do.